is depleted estrogen. Okay, so it can bring your estrogen down to 0. Okay, this usually happens after 6 weeks of using it. Hello, what's up YouTube? Stephen here from CarterFitness and Nutrition. Today's video will be based on RAD 140. Okay, obviously it's a SARM, so it's a selective androgen receptor modulator. Okay, obviously it's highly anabolic, so I do not advise using this. Obviously, like I said, it is a drug. Okay, but before we get into it, please like and subscribe to this video. I would advise that. Please subscribe to our channel. That would really help us out. Okay, and liking this video would obviously, it would also help us out a lot. Okay, and just before, I just want to clarify, I am not a doctor. Okay, so this video is for entertainment purposes only. And whatever you take from this video is completely up to you and has nothing to do with us. Okay? Just letting you know. Okay. So first of all, RAD 140, okay, also known as testosterone, is a SARM, and it is obviously selective tissue. Okay? So it selects specifically the androgen receptors, which is found in the muscle and the bone. Okay? So obviously, unlike anabolic steroids, it does not have the androgenic effect of other parts of the body. Okay, so RAD 140 is known to be 90 anabolic and 1 androgenic on the ratio. Okay, which testosterone is 100 and anabolic and 100 androgenic. So basically, as they say, RAD 140 is meant to be 40% more anabolic than testosterone. So due to obviously it's more selective towards the androgen receptors rather than the rest of the body, making it more potent to build muscle in a short amount of time. Okay. How much can you gain on RAD 140? You can potentially gain anywhere between 5 and 15 pounds of muscle in a single cycle. Now, this depends on your dosage and it depends on the length of the cycle. Okay, so if you're looking for, like, let's say a 6-week cycle on a moderate dosage, this could result, probably half the gains that you would get on a 12-week cycle. Obviously, like SARMs and steroids do, you start getting more results after the 6 weeks rather than before. Okay, so you're better off sticking with an 8 to 12-week cycle. It is a versatile compound, so it is fantastic at both burning fat and building muscle, and also it can do both at the same time. So, for example, you're in a deficit and you are aiming to lose body fat. As long as your deficit is not too crazy, so not like you're not in a 2 pound a week, 1,000 calorie deficit or so. If you're like a pound a week, for example, so let's say you're in a 500 calorie deficit, you can expect to be gaining at least 8 to 10 pounds of muscle in one cycle. Not even at a 200 calorie deficit, you can expect to lose 1 pound a week of body fat, which is equivalent to a 3,500 deficit throughout the week, which is fantastic. Okay, so if that is the case, then a 500 calorie deficit, you could expect around 1.5 pounds a week, which is equivalent to 750 calorie deficit. So you are eating more calories and burning more fat. So that is superb. That is absolutely insane. All right. It is a drying compound. So basically, it does not cause water retention. It holds no water. There are some individuals that are classed as seen to hold a bit of water. However, I reckon they probably used a compound with RAD 140 that holds water, like LGD. Okay. So it's a drying compound, so acts more like a diuretic, so you will pee more often. Just beware of that. Okay, so if you're one to not frequently go to the toilet regularly, then yeah, say goodbye to that, because you could be going to the toilet probably twice an hour. Okay, so it could result in 24 times in the 12 hours, which is pretty crazy. So for women, can women use Red 140? Yes, women can, as long as the dose is low enough to prevent virilization, which virilization is the cause of basically hair growth, growth below. Okay, so obviously they're deepening in the voice. That stuff can happen on a high dose, obviously, because it is highly anabolic. So anything that is high in testosterone, obviously, will cause virilization. Right. Let's go through dosages. So what is the dosage for this? Okay, so we're going to go through all the dosages and what you could potentially get as a result. So you can go anywhere between 5 and 30 milligrams per day. Okay, anywhere above 30 can potentially be harmful. Not saying that this compound isn't harmful in the first place to some individuals. However, the safer zone, do not go beyond 30. To expect great muscle gains, I would go somewhere in the middle. So let's say 20 milligrams. However, I do not advise going 20 milligrams if this is your first RAD 140 cycle, unless you've used several SARMs in the past at high dosages. I do advise around 10 milligrams for men to begin with, and 5 for women, and then on the second cycle, 20 milligrams for men, and maybe 10 for women. Women, don't go any higher than 10. Okay, advise sticking with 10 for the max, and then if you need, stack another compound with it that won't obviously cause virilization, like Andarine, for example. Right. So it can be dosed once per day. Okay, it's got a 20 to 24 hour half life, so you don't have to dose it up so high, like more than once a day. So you don't have to do like twice a day, like some like S23 for example, or Andarine, where you have to dose 2 to 3 times per day. It's just once before breakfast or after breakfast, and then you're done for the day. Okay, and then do the same next day for 8 to 12 weeks. So yes, like I said, you can run it up to 12 weeks. However, for a first cycle, I do advise 8 just to see how you go, and then yeah, then run it up to 12 weeks. Don't go beyond 12 weeks because that's where side effects start taking place. Okay, so side effects they can get detrimental, especially if you're pushing it 16, 20 weeks. Most SARMs or most oral steroids, however, do not recommend going over the recommended length because obviously it can cause side effects, especially, on your organs and stuff. So, talking about side effects, what are they? So, we'll start with the first side effect, which is dehydration. Now, obviously, because it's a drying compound, it makes you pee more often. So because you're peeing more often, you are losing water. So obviously you have to drink water way more often. And also talking about losing water, another side effect can be night sweats. You can potentially get night sweats. This is an uncommon side effect. Not everyone gets this. But yes, you can get night sweats, which can literally soak you. Okay, so just be aware of that. It's not a comfortable position. A lot of people have to literally sleep with no pajamas on even during the winter, because of how severe these night sweats are. Another one, very common one, this one is testosterone suppression. So your testosterone will get suppressed after usually 6 to 8 weeks. Depends on the individual. Some people, obviously, if you've got a higher testosterone in the first place, your testosterone suppression probably might be later, or you might not even get very suppressed levels. If you do not get very high suppressed levels, I do suggest you use a PCT like this one, more of a mild PCT, rather than a one like Novadex or Cloma. However, if you do get a higher suppression, let's say you get completely suppressed, then I wouldn't advise using this PCT. I would advise more Cloma or Novidil Clomid, okay? So they'd probably be the better options because obviously they're stronger. All right, they'll kickstart your test levels much quicker. Well, this one's more of a testosterone enhancement. Okay, you can find this on Manic Muscle. It's very good. I've used it personally, and you don't have to use it as a PCT. You can even use it as a testosterone booster. Okay, it's got very good ingredients in there like Tribulus terrestris, maca root. Okay, it's got coenzyme as well, good for the liver. So yeah, so that's good. It's really good stuff, especially if you more want to stay natural and not go into that sort of enhanced stage. Another side effect is depleted estrogen. Okay, so it can bring your estrogen down to 0. Okay, this usually happens after 6 weeks of using it, and estrogen, because it's anabolic as well, your muscle growth will come to a stall, so which means you basically won't be able to gain potentially any muscle after 6 weeks if you don't use a test base. So that's basically where you use testosterone, because testosterone can obviously convert to partly estrogen as well, because obviously, aromatization. So you will need test base. Okay, anything that converts to estrogen to allow estrogen levels to stay moderate in the system. Okay, it can cause acne, so on the shoulders, on the back. Okay, sometimes on the face. This depends. Usually shoulders and back more commonly. This depends on you. Obviously, if you're very prone to acne, then you're going to get acne. But if you're not very prone to it, it's a 50-50 chance you could. And it can be very mildly liver toxic. It depends on the strength of your liver. Obviously, it's going to raise liver enzymes because obviously the liver is converting it, because it's obviously an oral. But there doesn't mean it's going to affect your liver in a way if you're going to get problems like nausea and like jaundice and stuff. But it could just elevate a little bit of inflammation, but you just don't know. It depends on the person. Okay, but the liver is designed to do stuff like that anyway. It takes toxicity on a daily basis when you eat food anyway. Okay, now let's go through personal experience. So what have I experienced on RAD 140? So RAD 140, I gained, because I am an experienced user of SARMs beforehand, I wouldn't have gained as much as someone who's more of a beginner. So I gained around about 5 to maybe 8 pounds of muscle, which is tremendous. It's pretty damn good, because obviously it's the most anabolic SARM that I know of. Because I was eating maintenance calories, I did lose body fat. Okay, I lost around 3 pounds of body fat in the entire cycle. However, I didn't drop in weight, because if you're losing fat and building muscle at the same time, it rather fluctuates rather than going down or up. Other experiences, I did get a side effect like acne. Okay, I did get a bit of acne. I did get I didn't really get very much suppression from it, because obviously I've got quite natural good test levels. However, I did use the PCT just to be sure, and I felt great from it. But yeah, RAD 140 obviously is definitely probably the second strongest SARM I've ever used. Firstly, obviously being S23, which was a bloody insane strong SARM. But other than that, yeah, water intake was pretty skyrocketed though. I was drinking a lot of water, from about 3 liters up to about 7 liters a day, maybe sometimes 9 liters. So it's pretty crazy, but it's really good if you want to look great on the beach. Okay, if you want to look great on the beach and look shredded and just really defined, especially if you're low body fat. It won't happen if you're high. You're not going to look any different. But if you're low body fat, then yeah, you're going to look even better. Okay, so we have got RAD 140 here from ManicMuscle Labs. So please be sure to check that out if you're interested. Obviously, like I said, we do not advise you use SARMs, but if you do, obviously for your choice, your personal choice, if you want to use them, then I do suggest ManicMuscle Labs, because these are genuine SARMs. Okay, so you're not giving anything fake. You're not giving anything that potentially harm you. Okay. But yeah, so just before I end the video, I do apologize for the camera quality. Obviously, our old camera kind of like not working properly. It wasn't recording videos properly, so we are using a laptop camera currently just until we get a new camera. Okay, so it shouldn't be too long. Okay, and that about wraps it up, guys. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll obviously make more reviews. We'll start creating more more overall videos, workout videos. We've got other videos that we can also do as well. So honestly, put comment down in the comment section. What videos would you like to see? Do you need any information, anything like that? Just give us a shout out or something, then that'd be great. Please follow our Instagram at CarterFitness 90. Please feel free to check out our podcast on either Acast, Spotify, or YouTube. The ManicMuscle link will be down in the description. Please feel free to check that out. There's tons of supplements on there, so it's fantastic. And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.